to the pre-show before the free show.
Hello.
Hey.
It's Mallory. QB2 is here. Oh, I gotta fix that. I told you I would.
It's kind of cute though. It's a fox.
A little fox. Just a little fox.
It's
fox
jumping around.
there.
It looks kind of cute. I think you should keep. Well, now it's not.
Yeah. See, now it's not as cute. So let me fix this here.
Yeah,
we
correct.
We have the ability. Bang. Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the pre-show before the free show. I am Greg, and that is Mallory. We are here on another episode of Texas Football Today. QB2 is in.
I actually have something.
Okay, I got something too. So let's just fight over who has the most something.
Okay. I did not know that you were going to the Ranger game yesterday because I was there as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was there as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
You were. Well, you're the. You're the mayor of Agtown, so it's. I will presume you're at most games.
Well, I try and get to as many as I can because
Sure.
you know me, big old baseball fan.
To be around your people.
Correct.
Your ag people.
I got to be there to lead, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Gotta be there
Leaders lead.
Leaders
you
lead.
know what I mean?
Yeah. No, we were way up in the 200 section, so we were not anywhere near you guys. But
We went.
it looked a lot of fun.
We had a great time. We made it through all 9 innings.
Did you really? Okay. Because both
Shocking.
boys went.
Both boys, and then we also met up with my brother and my sister-in-law and my 2 nieces who were there. It was my niece.
Yes, I saw that.
It was my niece Lila's first birthday. Her first birthday is coming up here soon, but her first baseball game. So
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
there were 8 Teppers there, which
Ooh,
is
that's a lot of Teppers.
honestly too many Teppers.
in one spot. You know what's funny? So we were looking up at, we were sitting in the outfield, way up in the 200 section, and I saw those windows down there by the. What is by
So
that's where y'all sat. There was windows and there were tables.
So we had tickets down in the lower bowl.
Yeah.
But in certain tickets, you have access to this little lounge, which down there basically
The
it's
lounge.
there's a couple of concession stands down there that you can get to, and then also they have some tables that have open netted look at there, and so
Yeah.
you're on field level.
Okay.
And so you can look and touch the dirt right there.
Yeah, that rocks.
Travis Jankowski was just out there hanging out, and Brandon Crawford was just out there hanging. I think it's Brandon Crawford, whoever the left fielder for the Giants is.
Yeah,
But
that's cool to be like.
Yeah, and
that
Hank
close.
thought that was super cool and stuff. Max was nonplussed, but you
Right.
know, he was there and he made it through all 9 innings. So it was also Dollar Ice Cream Day, which is every Sunday. So
I didn't realize that.
Oh, yeah.
I regret not getting dollar ice cream.
yeah. But let me tell you something about going to the Ranger game. Price of the brick is going up.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, they are the World Series champs.
Many people forget that they are the World
Many
Series
Many
champions.
people forget. We can't let them forget.
Can I tell you about what I did on Friday and Saturday?
Yeah.
So on Friday, let me back up. This is a couple months ago, I was invited by the fine folks of Mineral Wells, Texas.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Shout out Rams. Mineral Wells to speak at their annual Mineral Wells Athletic Hall of Fame induction ceremony. I was their keynote speaker this past week.
That rocks.
It was a Saturday morning affair, and they said, hey, we would love to have you and your wife out. We'll put you up into a hotel. We'll take you to dinner and stuff, and you can stay the night in Mineral Wells, get to know our community. And so Wednesday or Friday afternoon, God, if you couldn't tell,
It all runs together. I
if
know.
you couldn't tell, I'm trying to get sick, which is why I'm going to blame the brain fog on that. Friday afternoon, my wife and I drove out to Mineral Wells, and I'd never been there. I'd driven through Mineral Wells, but never stopped there. Let me tell you something. Delightful.
Oh yeah.
You were telling me about this because you are out there relatively frequently because of lake reasons, right? Is this
No, Mineral Well. We're out in East Texas.
You're in East Texas.
So, but I have been to the town square in Mineral Wells with there's a burger place out there, a coffee place that's really cool, and that hotel.
We stayed in that hotel.
Did you really?
We stayed in the
what's
Crazy
it called?
the
Crazy Water Hotel. Yeah,
We
I
stayed in
know.
the
I didn't get to
Crazy
stay in there, but I looked at cool.
We stayed in the Crazy Water Hotel, which was fabulous.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It was built in the 20s, and then it had recently been refurbished. And it was absolutely stunning. And then we had a great dinner with Jason Bryce, who is the chairman of the Mineral Wells Athletic Hall of Fame, and his lovely wife Stephanie. We had a great dinner with them on Friday night, and then I spoke on Saturday morning. And I will tell you, if you are looking for quintessential Texas, It's hard to beat Mineral Wells, okay? It's the kind of place where like I can already feel it's like, oh yeah, this is the type of place where if you want to rob the bank, just wait for Friday night. You know what I mean? Because it's that kind of town. It's a town of about 15,000, and they got a lot of pride there. And it is super, super cool to see like the renaissance and the revitalization that's going on there in Mineral Wells. And I was pleased and honored to be there and blabber on at them for 20 minutes or so. But it was a great time. And actually what made me feel very old is everything. But what made me feel old in this particular instance is that one of the inductees was a gentleman by the name of Cameron Weiss, who was a 3-time All-State defensive back for them. And I remember covering Cameron Weiss. I was like, and now you're in the Hall of Fame. You're like, oh crap.
Yeah.
You have to be certain amount of time out of high school before you go in the Hall of Fame. But yeah, it was a terrific time. And if you have the means to make it out to Mineral Wells, Texas, I'll tell you, they rolled out the red carpet. My wife is like, that's her new favorite high school football team.
Oh yeah.
Because I told them, it's like, I can't be bought. I really can't. But my wife absolutely can be bought, and
Correct.
she has now, Mineral Wells has been added to her list of favorite high school football teams. So
well, Step went out there for the SQT last week, right? And they just welcomed us with open arms. They had they had a sign for us and everything. But good people in Mineral
good
Wells.
folks out there in Mineral Wells, America. So if you have the means, make it on out there, and spend a weekend. It's a really, really cool town, and I recommend it. And so that's the Greg Tepper stamp of approval on Mineral Wells, Texas, and the Mallory Hartley stamp of approval.
I love it.
Hit the theme, Expo. Y'all, from the brand new Dave Campbell's, I said it wasn't going to be brand new today. From the new Dave Campbell's Texas Football Mothership here in beautiful Lewisville, Texas, it's Texas Football Today, a program with a desk. My name's Greg Tepper. I'm the managing editor of Dave Campbell's Texas Football, a magazine, texasfootball.com, a corresponding website. Thank you for spending part of your day with us, whether you're watching us live at texasfootball.com, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, or you'll listen to the podcast, which you could subscribe to on the podcast vendor of your choice. Either way, thank you for doing your part to support your local mediocre internet show. I am sitting over there at the helm today, making us sound good. Googling backup quarterbacks NFL.
I knew that's what you were doing.
She's my Mal pal. She's your Mal pal. She's our QB2. She's our Blaine Gabbert.
I don't even know who that is.
It's a Mizzou grad.
Oh, okay.
She's Mallory Hartley. Hi, Mallory.
Hey, everyone.
Hi.
Glad to be here.
I'm glad you survived the weekend.
I did.
Considering you and your roommate have been trying to kill each other on various modes of transport.
Well, she's been gone.
Oh, so
she's not here. She's in Houston. That's why I'm here.
So you had the house to yourself?
I did.
Dang.
Mm-hmm.
That
It
rocks.
was me and Ava.
You and Ava? How's Ava doing?
She's doing great.
Good.
Yeah, she cuddled with me last night.
Tell her I said hi.
I will.
Today is Monday, June 10th, 2024. It is 171 days till Thanksgiving. Happy birthday to NLE Choppa.
No way.
No, not really.
Oh, I was so excited. That was so mean.
Oh, it's too good. No, it is the birthday
mean.
of JoJo from Casey and JoJo, if that matters.
That was rude.
It is episode 1781.
Correct.
Bang. Count it, and the foul. On today's show, folks, big show. I'm going to work backwards, okay? At the very end of the show, I want you to hang around for a programming announcement. We have a not insignificant programming announcement to make at the very end of the show, so we hope you'll stick around for that. Before that, we've got a very exciting announcement to make with our friend Mike Craven, who has got a very exciting new product coming out that you're going to be very excited to hear about. Very excited is a phrase I've said too many times. Anyway, listen to that, because Mike Craven is going to tell you all about his new book. He's a published author now. We'll hear from Mike Craven. But before that, we will have headlines from across the state of Texas, including unbelievably still Texas high school football coaching changes. as well as the College Football Hall of Fame ballot is out. We'll talk about that coming up here in just a moment. Do we have first four through the door, Malpal?
We sure do. It was Aaron Arbuckle, TJ Hudson, jersey number 69,
nice.
And Ed McElroy. Welcome in, fellas.
Welcome in, friends. We do appreciate you spending a little bit of your day with us here on Texas Football Today, episode 1781, which I'm pointing to right now on the graphic because I have programmed and I can see it. Anyway, let's get to some headlines from across the state of Texas, Mallory, and we will start in the college ranks. Not a whole lot going on in the college ranks right now. Texas put up an Instagram post where they're giving all of their players Lamborghinis, so.
That was I did see that. That was insane.
That's a thing that's happening.
That's a thing nowadays.
That's a thing that's happening. Anyway, but one of the things I did want to touch on is that the 2025 College Football Hall of Fame ballot is out. The College Football Hall of Fame, of course, based in Atlanta, is going to be doing their voting, I believe, over the next couple of months for all of their members. I am not a voting member of the College Football Hall of Fame. Mike Craven might be. I need to check on that.
Yeah, I'm not. I think he might be.
You can find the whole ballot on TexasFootball.com. We've got it linked there. But there are some headliners that I want to make sure we mention. One of them, I think probably the biggest headliner here would be Graham Harrell, Texas Tech quarterback, and Dave Campbell's Texas football cover boy. He is up for a spot in the Texas high school, or the College Football Hall of Fame, as is Texas defensive back Michael Huff. Those are probably the two biggest headliners, but there's a number of other ones that I want to make sure we mention. Byron Hanspard, the running back from Texas Tech, is a spectacular playmaker, and I think worthy of going in the Hall of Fame at some point. He is on the ballot, as is Jarrett Dillard, the outstanding Rice wide receiver who really put them on the map in the early part of the last decade. Jarrett Dillard is on there for Rice, as well as SMU defensive back Russell Carter and TCU running back Kenneth Davis are on there as well. On the coaches ballot, some familiar names from Texas. Jim Carlin, the Texas Tech head coach who was the three-time Southwest Conference Coach of the Year and won the 1973 National Coach of the Year in 5 seasons at Tech. Pete Cawthorn Sr., who coached at Texas Tech as well, led them to its first Cotton Bowl and a 10-0 record in 1938. Larry Coker is probably best known. He's probably, to be real honest, he's probably on the ballot for what he did at Miami, winning a national championship. But he of course did launch the UTSA program, so he's got a special place in the hearts of folks down there in San Antonio. And then Tommy Tuberville's on the ballot. Take that for what it's worth. The non-FBS, as far as non-FBS players are concerned, UT Arlington defensive end Bruce Colley is on there, led them to a 1981 Southland Conference title and played 6 seasons in the NFL. This is a guy there's 3 other guys on the non-FBS that I think are worth mentioning. One of them is Tim Flanders, the Sam Houston running back. When I tell you that I think Tim Flanders would be, if I only had one pick to go in the College Football Hall of Fame, I think I'd go with Tim Flanders. This guy led the Southland Conference in rushing 4 years in a row. This dude, was the quintessential Bearcat from 2010 to 2013. This guy needs to be in the College Football Hall of Fame. In my opinion, the story of FCS football is not complete without Tim Flanders. Tim Flanders needs to be in the Hall of Fame. There, I'm off my soapbox. Also on the ballot, a friend of Dave Campbell's Texas football and a personal friend of mine, Claude Mathis, the Texas State running back who, before he was winning back-to-back titles as the DeSoto head coach, he was a back-to-back Southland Conference Player of the Year.
What a resume.
He's their all-time leading rusher there still at Texas State, 4691 rushing yards. And then also Michael Strahan from Texas Southern, the defensive lineman. He's already an NFL Hall of Famer, a Pro Football Hall of Famer. Probably should be in the College Football Hall of Fame, I would say. He was a 2-time SWAC Defensive Player of the Year when he was at Texas Southern. He was your all-time leading sack artist with 41.5 sacks. Anyway, also Steve Moore. Steve Moore is a name you may not know, but the former Trinity head coach holds the SCAC record for most wins in conference play with 186 wins. So he is on the ballot as well there at Trinity. Anyway, the Texas is all over the College Football Hall of Fame ballot. You can check that out, TexasFootball.com. Remarkably, Mallory, we have 2 Texas high school football coaching changes to talk about. Today is June 10th. Okay, now these happened last week, so it wasn't the first week of June, but it was still in June. We'll start out there at Lubbock Estacado. You may remember that Lubbock Estacado has been looking for a new head coach since Will Blaylock left to go be the head coach at Cy Ranch. And I can go through this whole thing again, but basically, McKinney came open when Marcus Shavers left. He's now at North 40, right? McKinney went and hired Nate Leonard to be the head coach from New Braunfels Canyon, right? New Braunfels Canyon went and hired Sean McAuliffe, who is the head coach at Cy Ranch. Cy Ranch went and hired the head coach Cy Ranch hired the head coach at Lubbock Estacado, Will Blaylock, to be the next head coach, which left Lubbock Estacado open. We have now closed the loop, as Wichita Falls City View offensive coordinator Eric Ward is going to be the next head coach at Lubbock Estacado. He is probably, there are folks who are getting their guns up out there as Texas. He's, of course, best known as being a 3-time All Big 12 wide receiver at Texas Tech and a star there at Texas Tech. One of the most decorated receivers in their history. He's a Wichita Falls Rider guy. He's going to get his first opportunity to be a head coach now, and he started his coaching career at his alma mater at Rider, but he's also had stops at a few other places, but most recently he was the offense coordinator at City View. You can read all about that on TexasFootball.com, but yes, Lubbock Estacado has their guy, and is a guy who is very famous in Lubbock. Eric Ward is going to be the next head coach at Lubbock Estacado. And then way out west in El Paso Bel Air has been looking for a head coach there at East Leda ISD, and it appears they have found their guy, as they're going to be hiring El Paso Riverside head coach Gary Ricoder to be their next head coach. Eric Scoggin left after 2 seasons to become the offense coordinator at Parkland. There's a lot of like inter-Sun City like movement this year. Ricoder has been at Riverside, which is his alma mater, for the last 5 seasons, and he's really turned them around in a big way. He's been a real turnaround artist for them. They're hoping to do that the same thing with the Highlanders there at Bel Air, as El Paso Bel Air has apparently, according to Matt Stepp, found their guy in Gary Ricoder to be the next head coach at El Paso Bel Air. Finally, Mallory, what are you doing in a couple of weeks? Maybe end of June?
I think I'll be in College Station.
You're going to come to College Station for a minute?
I am,
yeah,
yes.
That's right. As we're going to be down there at College Station for the state 7-on-7 tournament. Got big coverage ready to roll out for you here at TexasFootball.com. But we still got to know which teams are making it to the state 7-on-7 tournament. We have it was a big weekend of 7-on-7 state qualifiers across the state. In Division 1 at the Westlake SQT, San Antonio Brandeis and Austin Anderson. Keep an eye on Austin Anderson. Have qualified there out of the Austin Westlake SQT. At the Flower Mound Marcus state qualifying tournament, the 3 teams that got in there at three teams: Frisco Wakeland, Lovejoy, and Argyle will all be there at the state 7-on-7 tournament in College Station. At the Grand Oaks SQT, it was Conroe Grand Oaks winning their own tournament, as well as Willis. Willis, of course, big questions about them is what they're going to do to replace DJ Lagway. We will get our first glimpse down there at state 7-on-7 as Willis has qualified for the state tournament. At the College Station SQT, College Station, always a threat down there to win kind of home field advantage. College Station always very, very good at 7-on-7. They qualify, as does Buda Johnson. Buda Johnson qualifies for the state tournament. At the Tyler SQT, Terrell and Mesquite Horn qualified for the state 7-on-7 tournament. They are through to the state tournament as well after winning the Tyler SQT. Is that right? Yeah. As well as, let's see, that is at the Katy Tompkins SQT. Richmond Randall makes it to the state qualifying tournament, as does Houston Strake Jesuit. They are through to the state tournament. The Aldine SQT, I believe at MacArthur. Manville is through, no surprise, big time talent there at Manville, and Humble will make it to the state qualifying or to the state tournament. Down in Sharyland, the Snake Pit SQT, love that.
Love that.
PSJA, Laredo United and PSJA North are heading to the state tournament after qualifying at the Snake Pit SQT. Down in Division 2, the Big Country SQT. Jim Ned is through. They beat Brownwood in the play-in, as well as Lubbock Christian. Lubbock Christian, I believe, might be the first or second private school to qualify in this year's tournament. They are through after being Levelland in the final, as well as Mineral Wells. Making it for just the 3rd time in program history. They beat Stephenville in the final to make it there. Mineral Wells is going to College Station after winning after qualifying there. The Salina SQT. Salina is through, as is Frisco Panther Creek. Those 2 teams are making it there. And then down in Division 3, the Abilene SQT was a big, beefy SQT, but Brady and Jacksboro through. Brady's a team that's always very tricky at 7-on-7. And then Dangerfield SQT. It was, Dangerfield is through, as well as Gilmer Harmony is through. Those are the teams that made it out of the East. And at the Ganado SQT, Ganado and Wallace Brazos are through, as well as Rosebud Lot SQT. Bartlett and Hearn are through. Hearn doesn't have to travel far, just down the road. Good Chicken Express there as well. And then Sonora SQT. It was Miles and Ira Ann that made it through to the Division III bracket of the state 7-on-7 tournament. You can find all the teams that have qualified. You don't need to remember all those. We're going to have big blowout coverage of the Texas State 7-on-7 tournament coming up here at the end of the month. But those are the teams that made it this weekend in the state qualifying tournaments at 7-on-7.
And a little side note, Step went to the Flower Mound Marcus SQT this week, and he caught up with your boy, Antonio Wiley,
my boy,
Trey Bryant, and then Jerry Edwards.
Oh, cool.
So those are all up on YouTube right now. Go ahead and check them out.
Go check out Antonio Wiley's interview. Go check that out extra hard.
He rocks.
Because
they all rock, but yes.
Cowboy fight never dies. That's all the headlines from across the state. We are Texas Football Today. We're here every weekday at noon on TexasFootball.com, talking football in the Lone Star State. You can follow us on Twitter at DCTF, like us on Facebook, Facebook.com/Dave Campbell. Follow us on Instagram, Instagram.com/Dave Campbell. And of course, see us at TexasFootball.com. I want to remind you, at the back half of the show, very end of this show, we have a relatively major programming announcement. I hope you'll stick around for, because we've got some exciting things we're going to try out this summer, and we want to let you know about it coming up here at the very end of the program. Mallory, I've met your dad, right?
Yes.
The Todd father?
Yes.
The Todd father. Good dude.
Good dude.
Good dude. Do you think he deserves a great Father's Day?
Absolutely. 100%.
Do you know what I think you should get your father for Father's Day?
Tell me.
A subscription to Dave Campbell's Texas Football. TexasFootball.com/subscribe. It's where you get the 2024 summer edition of Dave Campbell's Texas Football mailed to you before it hits newsstands. If you go to TexasFootball.com/subscribe, go there right now, check it out. You can get it makes a great gift. You also get a year of Dave Campbell's Texan Live, our streaming platform, with thousands of live Texas high school events, including hundreds and hundreds of Texas high school football games, including hundreds of Texas high school football playoff games, live on your device at TexasFootball.com/subscribe to become a Dave Campbell's Texas Football subscriber. You get all that. Like, this is not piecemeal. For one low price, you get the magazine.
It's a steal.
You get streaming. You get all sorts of good stuff. You get a year of access to TexasFootball.com, including a ton of great stuff behind the paywall, including Tep and Step, our premium high school football podcast. Makes a great gift. Get your dad the gift of football for this Father's Day, which is Sunday. I can't stress this enough. This is Sunday. Don't screw it up. TexasFootball.com/subscribe. So we've got a very exciting thing here at TexasFootball.com that we've been working on. And by we, I mean particularly Mike Craven, has been working on for quite some time. Mike Craven is now an author, as he is putting out the Dave Campbell's Guide to Texas College Football, an exciting new book out by Mike Craven, coming here in a couple of months. Pre-orders are open right now to get to know, or to get this book, another great gift idea. If you go there to TexasFootball.com, we've got the link on there. You can also scan the QR code on your screen right now. Pre-ordered your limited edition copy of the Dave Campbell's Guide to Texas College Football. If you go and scan that QR code, or you can go to TexasFootball.com, we've got all the information there right now. But Mike Craven's been grinding out all across the state to build this, and we caught up with Mike Craven last week to hear all about the process of putting this book together here on Texas Football Today. Back here on Texas Football Today, and joined by a very special guest, the most special guest. He's our college football insider, Mike Craven, here to talk about an exciting project you've been working on for quite some time. First of all, hello, Mike.
Hello, how are you?
Good.
This is a really nice studio.
Yeah,
I'm happy to be here.
Look at us.
Yeah.
Look how we've grown up in the world. That includes your growing up in the world. Mike Craven, published author.
Author. Adding that to the title, yeah. It's different than writing articles. Writing articles, you get the instant gratification, and by the time you dislike it, it's published.
That's absolutely right.
With the book, it is more like digging a ditch, where you just continue to go to the same hole, and you keep digging, and by the end, you're not even sure why you're doing it anymore.
The book is Dave Campbell's Guide to Texas College Football. You can pre-order it now on TexasFootball.com. Subscribers, you'll be getting an offer for a discount on the book. So let's talk about just kind of the birth of the idea of this book, because I know this is something you wanted to trick the company into paying for you to do, because
successfully.
Because you basically just got to travel the state for a whole year.
Yeah, so when Sam Houston moved up to FBS, it gave us 13 teams at the FBS level in the state of Texas, which is double than any other state, right? And so with Synergy, there's 13 weeks of the college football season, right? And so it was like, okay, let's go to each stadium, let's go to a different school each week. We'll put together a history book and kind of do the Dave Campbell's thing, right? Where we cover kind of all of it and get it all in there. It's mostly a history book with references, but it also will tell you the best places to go eat in each town, what to expect from going to a game, what the stadium is like. And so I'm hoping it's kind of encompasses the whole state in a way that we do at high school and in college here.
And so all 13 FBS programs in the state of Texas represented. You were boots on the ground for each and every one of them. I'm curious if there was a place, I'm curious if there was a place that surprised you, that you went, that you maybe had a preconceived notion of, and then you went to the game day atmosphere and it was just different than you thought.
Honestly, it was Texas State. My uncle went there. He was an athlete there. I've been good. My mom graduated from there. So I've gone to a lot of Texas State games, but it was when they were at the FCS level. And then as a reporter, I've gone there a few times for the FBS, but it was never full. Like it was never exciting. They hadn't had a great year since I've been on this beat. Well, last year they were super excited. They were having a really good year. I went to the ULM game. It ended up being 21-20. It was a great game. The atmosphere was good. It was the day that the eclipse was happening as well. So like it was it was just a cool day in San Marcos. And it was one of those like, you saw a program come to life, like in the moment. You looked around and you were like, oh, this is what Texas State has sworn they were going to be for 10, 15 years now. Like this is what it looks like. So Texas State is up there. I think Texas Tech is the most underrated place to go watch a football game in this state. Everybody knows about Kyle Field. At DKR there's over 100,000 people there and you're in Austin, so that's a fun one. I think Tech may be the third best experience in this state. Like a night game in Lubbock, I was there for the Oregon game, so it was a really good one. A night game in Lubbock is really hard to beat.
So then let's talk about the process of writing this book, because you mentioned it's different than writing an article. You are one of the reasons that I think you and I are friends and grown to work together is because you are also a grinder. You're a guy who it's like, I'm just pumping out copy. But this is an intentionally slower process, and I'm curious how that suited you.
Yeah, I enjoyed the research part. Kind of going through and learning the traditions and the best players and the best seasons, and you kind of stumble into some really funny kind of info and history that as a dork I enjoy. And I enjoy the writing part because I enjoy the creating part. So I enjoy the last month of the process is the part that I don't enjoy. And I know that you know this more than I do as somebody who designs the magazine. But there are just so many little things that you just never even think of. And you're bouncing it off this, and then you send them your idea, and then they send it back to you, and it's not exactly what you thought it was going to be, and you got to make these edits. And so I'm not a math person, so I always forget which one is micro and which one's macro. I think micro is the bigger one, right?
Micro is the smaller one.
I am a big picture person.
Yeah.
Like I can do the big picture stuff. It's when we get into like the nuts and bolts, the small stuff, the details that I struggle with. Will's helped me a lot to help to do with a lot of that stuff that I'm not good at. So the process was great for the first 7 months of it. It's been frustrating the last month of it.
Yeah, it's Dave Campbell's Guide to Texas College Football, written by Mike Craven, which you can pre-order now at texasfootball.com. From what I understand, you can be a New York Times bestseller if we can. There's an achievable number here. Like if you were to become a New York Times bestseller, how insufferable, scale of 1 to 10, would you become?
Oh, an 11. Probably. It'd be on my Twitter profile. You know how like doctors make you call them doctor?
Yes.
If it's like a doctorate in music or whatever. I had a vice principal in high school that needed to be Dr. Pede, and you'd look at his degree and you're like, it's music. Like, what are we doing? Like you're not saving lives. Like, why do I have to call you doctor? That's going to be me with author. Like I'm George Martin, Mike Craven, same, right?
Yes.
Like both authors. And so like, we're just talking about it. I feel myself getting a little bit more insufferable.
Honestly, I can't even tell you guys apart right now.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
I think we would also be remiss if we didn't talk about the other person on our staff who edited a huge portion of this as well, Will Wilkerson.
Yeah, it wouldn't have happened without Will, for sure. Because as I just described, I can do the big picture stuff. I can do the planning and the research and the copy. I'm not an editor. I'm not a line copy editor. And Will has humbled me in a tremendous way, right? Because you turn in what you think is a great piece of copy, and you get back and it's just like marked all over with, and so that's been a process as well. But that's the best part about Dave Campbell's is the team and everybody kind of working on the same things for the same reasons, and I can't thank Will enough for what he did for the project, for sure.
It is Dave Campbell's Guide to Texas College Football, available for pre-order now on texasfootball.com. Please make Mike Craven a New York Times bestseller, because that would be the funniest thing to ever happen in my life. It would just be spectacular for me personally, and also just like a great accolade.
Can you imagine if like I had to go like on tour to like Ray Romano has a great quote where he's like, I want to be nominated for awards but never win one, because then you get to go to the party but you don't actually have to go give the speech. I want this book to be successful enough to where Adam doesn't fire me.
Yep.
Right? So it didn't look like I came up with a dumb idea. But I am a little scared that it gets to where like I got to do some things that I don't want to do, you know? And one of those, because we're joking about me being insufferable, like I don't think I'd leave the house. I'd be like, can we pretend that Tepper wrote it, and we'll just send Tepper on the junket and he can sign it and do all that kind of stuff. Like that is a scary thing. So buy them. But maybe don't buy too many of them.
You're bad at the sales thing. TexasFootball.com. Pre-order it. Dave Campbell's Guide to Texas College Football.
I feel like bustin' loose, come on. Get on up. Oh yeah, get on up. Bustin' loose when you wanna sing. Bustin' loose, baby, do your thing. Talking about bustin' loose, yeah.
Hi. I'm Jennifer Potter, Executive Director of Be Well Texas. Too many people are struggling alone these days, and alcohol and drug deaths are increasing. We started Be Well Texas to offer high-quality, science-based addiction treatment and recovery services anywhere, even at home. We provide compassionate, caring support, virtually or in person. In many cases, there is no cost for treatment if you don't have insurance. Really. Welcome to Be Well Texas. We're glad you're here.
Wing is the largest residential drone delivery provider in the world, delivering to your home in less than 30 minutes. Order using an app just like other popular delivery services, and Wing's automated drone takes care of the rest. It's fast, safe, and sustainable, and it's now delivering to parts of Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas. You can learn more at wing.com/TexasFootball. Again, that's wing.com/TexasFootball.
Back here on Texas Football today, here for final thoughts, after hearing from Mike Craven, the Dave Campbell's Guide to Texas College Football by Mike Craven. You can pre-order it right now on TexasFootball.com. Makes a great gift as well. I believe it will start shipping in August. Early August is when it'll start shipping. But pre-orders are open now. And by the way, something I learned recently when a friend of ours, Mike Roach, published a book. There is a shockingly low number of books that you have to sell to be a New York Times bestseller. Do you realize how funny it would be if Mike Craven was a New York Times bestseller?
I asked him how he thought about that, and he was like, yeah, I just kind of think it's weird.
I think it would be so great. It would be so great for a variety of different reasons. Do you realize I would only refer to him as New York Times bestselling author Mike Craven?
Yes.
Like, that's all I would do.
We need to get him next to Mike Roach holding up their books if that happens.
That would be so good.
Wouldn't that be good?
Anyway, we appreciate Mike Craven's time. The Dave Campbell's Guide to Texas College Football, TexasFootball.com is where you can pre-order it right now. Let's go over to Mallory Hartley for America's second favorite segment, Final Thoughts.
Are we going to do our...
Yeah, we should probably tell people. So I threw it to you, but you can just throw it back to me.
Now let's go over to the Cool Zone with Greg Tepper.
Okay. So it is summer here at Dave Campbell's Texas Football, and we want to try out something over the course of the summer. As you know, Texas Football Today has been live at noon every weekday for the last 8.5 years. We are going to try something new this summer, that we want to open up our noon slot, which we consider to be our prime time slot. We don't want to bogart it anymore. We don't want to, what's the word? We don't want to hog it.
Keep it hostile.
We don't want to hog it. You know what I mean? And so what we're going to do is over the course of the summer, we're going to roll out a little bit of new programming at noon. So there will be live programming every day at noon at TexasFootball.com in the usual channels. But For example, tomorrow at noon, what's going to be on, Mallory?
The Republic of Football.
That's right. We're going to let Republic of Football take over the noon slot on Tuesday. And then on Wednesday, Mallory, what's going to be on?
Women Talking Football.
Oh my gosh, wow. We're going to diversify our noon programming a little bit. We will be back, Texas Football Today will be back on Thursday as well. We'll be on Mondays and Thursdays, but during the summer, we're going to have Republic of Football noon on Tuesdays and Women Talking Football noon on Wednesdays, and something special coming on Fridays. What's that?
Ooh.
Let me figure that out. But we are going to have programming every weekday at noon. We just want to diversify what our noon programming looks like, and so that's one thing we're going to try out this summer. And so we hope you'll let us know what you think, but we think that you're going to enjoy hearing new voices at noon every weekday here at TexasFootball.com and our various channels. So tomorrow, noon, right here. Same bat time, same bat channel, different bat program. Republic of Football tomorrow, right here at noon. We hope you will tune in with the same vim and vigor that you tune in to Texas Football Today, because we're really excited about giving an opportunity to spotlight a lot of our other programming. That is going to do it for us. Thanks for spending a little bit of your day with us. Follow us on Twitter at DCTF. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/Dave Campbell's. Follow us on Instagram, instagram.com/Dave Campbell's. And of course, see us at TexasFootball.com. Thanks again to published author Mike Craven for being our guest. For Mallory Hartley, I'm Greg Tepper. Vince Young, Big Beer Player of the Year trophy. We'll see you Thursday on Texas Football Today.